All right. All right. Come on in. Come on in. We're getting ready to start this thing. Hey, 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 hey. Hi, 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 hi. How are ya? How are ya? How are ya? Welcome to the flow. Hey, hi. How are ya? Stephanie Stallworth, ATL traffic lady. You're watching How We Flowed Out Today TV on a Friday. Well, oh my, it's actually Saturday morning, 12:07 a.m. What are you doing up, Miss Lady? I don't know. Third base. Happening Costello. What is really going on here? Let's wake it up with the background. Wake that background up. What you mean? Ooh wee! I do declare. I'm not even at my computer. I'm in my bed. On the tablet. So hopefully it's recording properly. Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Soon and very soon I'll be back on the radio in Atlanta. Soon and very soon. Stay tuned. And I'll let you know when and where. Ooh, 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 ooh. God is still able and he is still good. He is still on the throne. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? So, so much to do, so much to see, so much to be, but to be is just to be yourself or not to be yourself. I hope you're going to be yourself. I hope you're going to be real and not fake. I hope you're going to be the genuine article, not a fraud, not a knockoff. Hope you're going to be the designer original God created you to be. What do you mean here? Oh my goodness. The title of this video is The Fake Fraud You Applaud. Why do you still want to live that phony donkey life? Phony ask life. Why? I say, why do you still? I mean, I understood why maybe you wanted to because that's what you thought you could do, only thing you thought you could do. But why do you still want to live it when you know what it is? What is going on? Ooh, child, honey, child. Lord, help us all. Christ, help us all. God, help us all. And God save the queen. I'm on overload after 7 years. What you mean? Hey, hi, how are ya? Stephanie Stallworth, ATL Traffic Lady. You're watching How We Flowed Out Today TV on a Saturday morning. It's really Friday night into Saturday morning, 12:09 a.m. now. We're 2 minutes or so, 3 minutes in on the recording. 3 minutes in on the live recording, whenever you want to, however, whenever you're watching it. We're 3 minutes in, 3 minutes 10, 3 minutes 11, 3 minutes and 12 seconds in. So I ain't talked to you in a minute. Where you been? I sure hope that you're continuing to level up, my How We Flew Out Today community. I believe, God, that you are. Now, don't give up. Though the pace seems slow, you may succeed with another blow. It's just a matter of time. And I really believe that you got it. You understand this thing because we've already been making these How We Flood Today TV and How We Flood Today community videos since August of 2023. Over 2 years now. We're in the last quarter of the game, last quarter of 2025. And this is the time when everything goes boom. And everything click, 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 clicks into place the way God intended it to do. Don't you believe that? Don't you remember? Come on, Luther. Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? You said you'll be coming back this way again. Baby, 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 ooh, baby, oh, baby, I love you. I really do. Long ago and oh so far away, I fell in love with you before the second show. Before the second radio show, before the second service, before the second whatever applies in your life. Your guitar, you sound so sweet and clear, but you're not really here. It's just the radio. Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? You said you'd be coming back this way. When are you coming back this way? You got about 2 days, well, maybe like a day. After this Sunday, it's a wrap. After this Sunday, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I had to put my beatbox on, human beatbox on. It's a rap, like a rap. You call it RAP, WRAP, whatever you want to call it. You know I got that beatbox. You know I got that beatbox. I used to be a rapper. What you mean? I used to be a rapper. One time, in the 8th or 9th grade. My girlfriend and I, we made a rap. We were the Dynamic Deuce. And her boyfriend was the DJ. So during the we had no middle school. We really had one school, was 7th grade to 12th. So it was junior and high, but all in one school. So it was a junior high dance, I guess, or maybe the 8th grade dance, maybe. And so while he was DJing, her boyfriend was DJing, she and I, we had a rap that we made up. We were the Dynamic Deuce. You want me to hit it? It's a little fresh. But hey, that's what it was like back then. That's when the sequence was out, and all the girl rappers was just new. Some new girl rappers. Salt-N-Pepa wasn't out yet. This is like, the original girl rappers. Like Angie and all of them. Angie B. Hey, that's me. I'm rapping in the key R-A-P. All of them. Blondie. Hey, that's me. It was Blondie. I guess Blondie said that. I don't know. Oh, we lost Angie Stone this year, 2025. I did not know that she was Angie from the Sequence rap group. I know her. And then I know her as who she is there, but I never made the connection because I wasn't really listening to all the other music when she was doing her thing in her solo career. But oh my gosh, of course I know her from the Sequence. What? Yes, honey. So we were the Double Departure Dynamic Deuce. Do, 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 do. So he did a little mixing and scratching and all that stuff. Her boyfriend, who's now her husband, by the way, and we hit our rap. We're bad. That's right. Double D is in the house tonight. We're the Double Departure Dynamic. It's a little fresh. With a Double Departure Dynamic Deuce, your mouth will water for some of our juice. We got soft lips so sweet to kiss. We got the curvy hips that just won't miss. We're coming at ya. We're coming on strong. We'll make your head spin and go ding dong, ringing like a bell that's playing a song. When you rock with us, you will never go wrong. You rock your high, we'll rock your low, and you better watch out or we'll steal the show. Soon as you see us, you will know we're sweet MCs who let it flow. I like this, y'all. And we like that, y'all. And that's a fact, y'all. We're no imitation, duplication. We're short shot lovers on a rhyme creation, playing the world and the whole nation. And I don't know what the rest. We're the Double D, and you can see we're number one. Oh no, we're Double D. We said say our names, I think. And we rock so viciously. I'm MC Steph and I rock the best. I forget what she said, who she was, and she something. I forget what her line was. That was her line. We're the Double D, and you can see we're number one. And that was the rap right there. I wrote the rap, of course. So I was rocking the mic before I was rocking the mic. What you mean? I was rocking the mic in junior high. Before I was ever, your ATL traffic lady or any other broadcast of 37 years that I've been. About to rock the mic again, coming up here real soon in Atlanta. What's up? So, yeah. And what do we say? Something Sweet MCs who let it flow. Okay, so, and the flow was even there. We spoke the flow back in junior high school. And now the flow is a whole full-fledged streaming service, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know it back then, but I know it now. But yeah, we were the double departure, dynamic deuce. We were dynamic deuce. Because back then all the rappers were like, the treacherous three will rock from the bottom to the top, or the what was the four? The it was the Furious Five, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five MCs. It was the something four. Who were the four? The something with the F4. It was the treacherous three, the Furious Four, maybe. No, Furious Five, Grandmaster Flash and Furious Five MC, something four. I forget who the four were, right? And we were the dynamic deuce because it was all about numbers back then. So, come on, I got stories forever. I do declare everything reminds me of a song, but that reminded me of my rap career. My rap career started and ended in middle school. Well, junior high. We didn't have no middle school. Junior high school. We must have been in 8th grade. It had to be 8th grade. We weren't in 9th grade. We was 8th grade. But yeah, honey. And what a time it was. What a time it was. We ain't have time for no fake fraud you applaud. We didn't have no time to still want to live a phony life. We were living a real life. That's the name of this video. The fake fraud you applaud. Why? I said, why? Why do you still want to live a phony life? That phony behind life, man. What are we doing? You got to shut that thing down. Now, I do believe that you see it now. Again, I said it in the beginning of the video. I'm going to say it throughout the video. I believe you see it now, but I got some things to say. But don't take it like I don't understand, because I do understand that you see it now. But I also understand you haven't done anything about it now. Not that I can see. And I'm the one that needs to see it. You don't need to just see it in your mind. You don't need to just tell everybody else and not me. You got to tell me that you're doing it. Otherwise, it's invalid. It's not being done. And the door is going to close. Watch out. The door is closing. Please step away from the doors. Please step away from the doors. Doors closing. Ding. And they're closed. They are really already closed at the end of September. But I will be back. I'll be back to pick. Hey, good looking. I'll be back to pick you up later, Mr. Microphone. Did they have the Mr. Microphone commercial where you live? We lived in Philly area. Mr. Microphone was a product they were selling on TV. They had these teenagers, cruising around their car with the Mr. Microphone on. They had a convertible or something, I guess, or windows open. And they rode past these girls, and they're on the Mr. Microphone. And it's like a amplification system. So they're like, hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later. You'll be back to pick me up later. Come on, be back to pick me up later. I mean, not much later, because doors are closing. Please step away from the doors. And oh my gosh. Ooh, child, that reminds me of a video. The video of my most embarrassing, the video is not of the most embarrassing moment. It's what I'm telling about, the most embarrassing moment of my life, when my head got stuck in the subway door in Montreal, Canada. We're on a family trip, and the doors were closing, and we were trying to all get out because we were going the wrong direction on the train. And I told everybody, get out. It was a family trip. Everybody, go ahead, all y'all hop out. Everybody hopped out, and I was the last one, and the doors were closing on me, and I put my head out the door, to duck out. Just like I said, when you got to say it with your chest on that other video, when the Olympic guy got the gold medal because his chest crossed the line before his toe did, even though the other guy thought he won because his toe crossed the line. But when they looked again, the other person's chest crossed the line. The other person won the gold. I did that. Lean in. and wanted my head and chest to get out the door and push back with my arms so it could make the doors open like they do on the SEPTA subway in Philly, the L train in Philly. Well, at least it used to. I've been on there years. If somebody was in the doors would open back up. So me thinking that all subways would be somewhat alike, I dashed out the door. My foot hadn't crossed the line, but my head and chest did. Well, at least my head and the beginning of my chest, but the thing actually closed on the side of my neck. So I didn't really get my full chest out there. And so it closed on my hand and my neck, and my head and my neck were outside the car. My body and the rest of me was on the inside of the car. And I gotta see what the name of that video is. I don't know what the video is. I can't remember the name, but I'll tell you. I'll type it in the comments or in the description later if I think of when I find the video. But it's the one where my mom, God rest her precious soul, hashtag best mom ever, hashtag mom, wow, mom, mom upside down, this spells wow upside down spells mom, and I had the wowiest best mom ever. What you mean? Maddie Pearl Norris Lloyd, what? Okay, so mothers, if you're a mother and you're a mother with a mother instinct, and your child is in a precarious position or in some peril, you will have the answer for your child on what they should do, because that's what mothers do. If you're a motherly type mother, I don't know if all mothers do that, but they should. It's a motherly instinct, right? So here we are. It's like it was the girls, because we were all going to go shopping, and all the guys, all girl cousins and aunts and sister and all that, my mom and grandmothers. So I had got them all off the subway, and I was the last one off, and then boom, the doors closed right on me. Like, what? And I'm in the back car, and on that train there was a conductor in the back and a conductor in the front. So I'm like, maybe they can't see me. I look at the front and like, nobody's noticing. And I open the doors. They get ready to take off. And my head's going to get chopped off in this tunnel. And so I looked at the guy, conductor in the back, and he looked at me, and everybody's looking at him like, open the door. And he just throws his hands up like, hey, it ain't me. I'm not controlling it. Maybe he was just on for the ride. Maybe he wasn't working yet. He had to get started another part of the subway. I don't know. He just held his hands up like, hey, I'm not controlling it. And I'm like, what? I'm like, Mom, you know that, Mom, I'm about to get my head chopped off. Mom, what? I mean, I couldn't get out. There was no way the door was closed on me really hard. Like, I could not escape the door. I couldn't pull in and I couldn't push out. I was just stuck there. And I looked down at the streamlined, curvy top of the tunnel with the curvy top of the train, and looked like my head would not fit through that joint. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was scared, right? And no one opened the door. The guy's like, hey, I don't control it. And so after we all looked at him, he said he couldn't control it. Then they all looked at me, my family looked at me, and I looked at them, and I looked at my mom, and I'm like, Mom, like, what do I do? What do I do? Because moms always know what you should do. Well, good moms always know what you should do, and they'll tell you the right thing. And my mom said, well, ride to the next stop. And I look down there. I'm like, oh my God, my head's going to get chopped off. It's not going to ride. But okay, she thinks I'll make it. So I believe my mom, I will. I'll ride to the next stop. That's all I can do. And then the doors opened. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you, Lord Jesus. Because I was really worried there. So after that, the rest of the family trip, we took a whole bus of everybody, like aunts, uncles, cousins, sisters, nieces, nephews, grandparents. Everybody was in this bus, whole tour bus full. And so New Jersey Transit bus. And we drove up to Montreal, Canada. You didn't need a passport back then. but we drove to Montreal. I don't know if you need a passport for Canada now. I don't know. Anyway, so all the men were doing whatever the men do, and all the women were doing the shopping. So we were trying to go shopping while we were on the subway trying to go to the shopping area, and we got on the wrong side and we had to get on the right side. But then we got off, and but before we got off, this lady who we didn't even know, some Canadian Montrealian in the train station, came by in her Frenchy self, and she pointed right to me, and she said, ha, 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 ha. She laughed her donkey off. She laughed at her donkey off. Why do you still want to live that phony donkey life? You know what a donkey is. Well, it says it in the Bible. Ask her. She laughed her donkey off, right? Why you living that phony donkey life? Anyway, she laughed her head off. But that was before my mom told me what to do. Ride to the next stop. So we get back to, the whole family's together at this big family dinner at a big restaurant. And they told everybody what happened. It's prior to cell phones, so they didn't know until we got there. And then after that, everybody's like doing like a karate chop on both sides of their neck, like, Stephanie, look, chopping, chop, chopping like the doors chopping, closing on my neck. And that was the joke for the rest of the trip. I was the joke for the rest of the trip. Steph, look. And it's funny afterwards, but at the time it was a little perilous, right? But after that, and I'm talking till the end of mom's time, anytime we didn't know what to do or we were stuck with something, we just say, well, ride to the next stop. Because that's what moms do. They have an answer for you, right? So if you're a mom's mom, like I'm a mom's mom. My mom was a mom type mom who really had the child's best interest at heart. Now, every mom's not like this. This is what I'm learning, right? And so I'm grateful to have had the mom that God gave me. We can't choose our parents. And so they know what they know. They understand what they understand. They do what they do. And we still honor them anyway. But we still have to understand that just because they didn't know the right thing to do doesn't mean that they meant it in a bad way. And maybe some do. But if they never learned any different, they didn't know any different on how to nurture, right? But gratefully, my mom was the best mom ever. Wow, mom, wow, right? And well, I don't know how to start talking about this. Ride to the next stop. It's time for you to ride us, right? It's time to ride to the next stop. Look, bruh, stop fumbling. You fumbled the football. You fumbled the bag. You fumbled the whole thing. The gift God gave you. You just pushed it aside and went for the okie doke. You went for the booby prize. My friend, you went for the booby prize. Why are you going for a booby prize? Again, the video is called The Fake Fraud You Applaud. Why do you still want to live that phony donkey life? You got the booby prize. Yep. Some of you got the green card marriage. And I don't mean green card like as in you need it for citizenship, because most of you, whoever you married, is already a citizen. Not about that, but it's about the green card marriage. A trick you married, that trick out there married you for a green card. Yes, did you say they're a trick? Yes, they're a trick. That trick married you for a green card. And again, I don't mean a citizenship card because they're already a citizen. I'm talking about the green card that says that you, who are well thought of, well respected, well known, and people trust you, right? You have the trust of the people, and that trick married you for a green card. They studied you. They knew what your idiosyncrasies were. They knew what would trigger you, what would make you, go for it, and all of that, and make you believe that it was real. But That trick married you for a green card. And I say trick of the enemy, whatever kind of trick you want to call it. The green card that says you vouch for them and you stand behind all of their down low and dirty antics. They some low down type energy people, right? The green card that says that you believe the devil is not a liar. The devil is a liar, but you believe the devil's not a liar. The green card that turned a fake gold digging jump off into a whole housewife. What? They tricked you. A green card marriage that says that let someone snake themselves into your family, into your ministry if you're in the church, into your life, into your bed, into your body, into your ear. Who are you listening to? Into your finances, into your home. They know where your estate stuff is. They only want to take you down. Why would you even tell them that? Oh my gosh, they tricked you. Got the booby prize, baby. The green card that you let around your children, around your everything, including giving the fake green card trick full access to block your divine connection with the real best gift God ever bestowed on you. The one and the only, and you know what it is. You know what it is, right? If it's you, say me. So I'll say it's me. Me. You searched all over to find what God already gave you. Almost 7 years ago, God gave y'all a gift. Just handed to you on a silver platter 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago. And let's say it was a holiday gift, right? And if you celebrate Christmas, it's a Christmas gift. You put it under the Christmas tree. God, no Santa. God left it under the Christmas tree for you, right? Ding, 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 ding. You wake up the next morning and there's your gift wrapped in a silver platter from the Lord Himself. What you always dreamed of, what you really always wanted your whole entire life. So much that you thought it wasn't even possible anymore. You thought it was just fake. Anyone who was doing that, it was fake, or they was getting tricked. When all the while you were getting tricked. You thought love was a trick, but then you got a trick that pretended to love, right? Love is not a trick. Love is a whole real thing that God created, right? So if He left the gift that you've always wanted your whole entire life under the tree for you in, I don't know what, December 2018, Christmas 2018, and you left that thing under the tree, let's say the tree's up all year, God waiting for you to unwrap your present. You never unwrapped it 2018, you never unwrapped it 2019. He left the tree up. 2020, you still ain't unwrapped the thing. 2021, you poo-poo and it's collecting dust. It never been unwrapped. You didn't even tear the paper to see what's in it. You knew what was in it, but you didn't tear it to see what was really underneath the surface. It was a nice enough wrapped gift, but inside, you didn't know what was going to happen inside that thing, right? 2020, 2021, it's still under the tree. Gifts have come and gone under that tree. All those different years, different gifts. You left the silver platter one there, 2022, 2023, 2024. Then you brought the knives out. It was like the magic trick, because you got a trick pony going on there, dog and pony show. It was a magic trick where they stabbed the lady in the box with all those knives, for all different directions. And yet she's still in there smiling, waving, hey, hi, how are you? And how is she still doing all that? I've stabbed them all around. You stabbed, you let your trick stab them, you let the people around you stab them, and you never protected them from the stabs, right? Even though it's a gift that God gave you. And you're just letting people do stuff to it. Yeah, I don't want that trick. You thought that was the trick, but that wasn't the trick. The trick made you think that was the trick. But that was really the treat. We're in October. That was the treat. You already got the trick. You already got the rabbit. Rabbit stew. Sounds good, but where you going to get the rabbit? We've already got the rabbit. Looney Tunes. They're doing rabbit stew. Bugs Bunny is in the pot with carrots and seasonings, and it's getting warmed up, and he's bathing, and they're like, oh, la 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 la, this is gonna be great. This feels so good. You know he's being cooked alive. You've been cooked alive. But they didn't put you in boiling hot water. Like you throw crabs in the water for a crab boil. No, crabs trying to climb out because they know it's hot from the beginning. They're gonna pull the other crabs down so they could get out. Most of them never get out, but they knew what was happening. So at least they tried to get out. You didn't even know what was happening half the time because it was a slow warm up to now you in the boiling hot water. You don't even know how to get out of it. Like, how did I even get here? I see my beautiful silver platter gift sitting over there with all the knives stuck in it and all the kicked her to the curb energy on it. And I wish I was over there. I wish I was there years ago. 2024 was the stomp out the gift year. And now we're in 2025, where God and his will prevails. God's will prevails, and all the fake, phony, fraudulent tricksters will be found out. And when the truth is found out, it's all going down. It's going to heck in a handbasket, on a hell in a handbasket. It's going, and you don't want to be with it. So you got to denounce that whole thing. And you got to announce that whole thing, that it was a fraud from the beginning. And yeah, you got tricked, but everybody got tricked. Not everybody. I ain't get tricked because I saw it from the door. I knew that was trouble from the door. When they first showed up, it was trouble. But everybody else, they're really good at what they do, this trick. They're really good at tricks. They're really good at illusions, really good at manipulating. Really, 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 really high-level professional assassin type good. They're that doggone good. They're that good. It's what they do. And even though I say you're going to be held accountable for this, if it is found out before you announce that it's found out, before everyone, if you don't say anything about this, before everyone finds out that this person is a fraud, then you going down with it. You going down with them. They're going to take you down, your whole everything down. Everything you built is gone because you're a fraud with them. Oh, you had to know you're the fraud, just like they're a fraud. But now that you know they're a fraud, because you might not know them because they really slick with it. They slick with that thing. And they're the type that if you don't bow down to their slick, then they're going to manipulate you or coerce you or intimidate people into doing what they want. So, I think I've talked of 1 to 5 people who lost their positions over in one particular place that we talked about because they didn't bow down to the trick. And then the trick took all their job titles and put it on them. Like, I'll take your job title. I'll take your job title, and combine the whole goofy job title with more duties than they could even handle. And then they're going to stand up there and say, oh, people with all these titles, can you even handle what you're doing? Child, everything that they say, they a whole trick and an illusion, a manipulator. Everything that they say about other people while they spouting and pouting is literally who they are. But people don't realize it because they're so good at the fakery. And I'm telling you, this is for somebody specific, I am telling you right now that if you don't call that thing out, then you going down with them because it's coming out. Either you call it out, or when it's called out, they're going to take you down with them. Because at that point, they got nothing to lose. The fake person has nothing to lose. They're going to say, oh, this person knew all about it. We came up with this together, which you might have done. Or people might coerce you to come up with that together because that's what you needed to have happen. You need to have the person in order to keep your position. But, that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is sometimes the enemy sends people to thwart you from your destiny. And this is what happened here. And you fell for it. And you got the booby prize. And you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and run amok. I've said this in many videos. There's nothing new. There's nothing new here. But the thing to understand is this. Number one, nothing can stop the will of God for anybody's life. So if the shape-shifting, fraudulent destiny swapper thinks that they successfully destiny swapped and gotten what God had for somebody else for themselves, they're tricking themselves. Because nothing can stop what God spoke. It is going to be done. His word does not come back void. So let's they stand up there and say that they serve the same God you do. They do not. You better understand this thing. Again, spiritual eyes. Stop looking at it with these carnal, everyday people eyes. This is spiritual. This is spiritual. So when they stand up and talk about witches and warlocks and spiritual battle, this and that, they talking about themselves. You better understand it. Now, when you hear me say this, and then the next time you hear them doing what they do, and they start saying all those things, reflect that right onto them in your mind and be like, yeah, that is them. Wow, they do that. They do those things because that's why they know them so well. That's why they know what to say so well, because that's who they are. That's what they embody. They don't know anything but that. That's the way they know how to live, survive, and thrive off other people's energy and other people's backs and other people's work and other people's everything. Not an original thought in that head. Not an original thought. They're just a sponge and suck up everything that they see and hear. And then they manipulate the people to think that they got something and they don't. And they just spit the thing back out of what someone else already said. They got nothing new. No new ideas. But they put it under a pretty package. So you get so sweet talk that you don't even realize you're getting bamboozled. You got the booby prize. I was talking to my brother yesterday. We were talking about Let's Make a Deal, the original Let's Make a Deal with Monty Hall. And I love Wayne Brady. Love Wayne Brady. He got Let's Make a Deal also. I'm talking the one back in the 70s, I guess, whenever that was out. And it's like, do you want what's behind door number 1? Or behind door number 2? Or behind this curtain, whatever. And you had to decide door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, or this curtain or that curtain. And you choose one. And one of them is going to be a doggone booby prize. And you chose the booby prize. It was behind a pretty old curtain. It was wrapped up in a pretty package. It looked so good, but it was a bunch of nothing inside, a bunch of dirty, evil, nasty inside, sent by the enemy themselves. They sent you a trick of the enemy, their whole trick. When you had the whole treat before they even showed up. What you mean, if you actually met that way? That's a bunch of lies too. So you are part of the trickery. You do know this because you co-sign on with the lies that they made you tell to make a narrative fit a certain storyline so that it supposedly looked a certain way. But you got to understand, it's not about how something looks, because that's just surface stuff. It's about what's at heart, what's on the inner, what's on the inside. It's about the core of a person. It's about their heart. It's about their spirit. It's about their soul. It's about how it feels, not how it looks. And it don't feel good to you right now. I know this. You got to run for your money, honey. And I mean literally and figuratively. They got all your money. And they gave you a run for your money when you thought you was getting something. You ain't getting nothing but a whole bunch of headaches, nonsense, and no peace and no joy. You thought it was joy, but even then it wasn't joy. You wanted to back out, but you didn't. You shouldn't have done it. And you're like, oh, well, I'm already here. I guess we'll do it. So it's just a dog and pony show from the door. Three-ring circus from the door. Well, I can't believe you're even doing that. God gave you something on a silver platter. You're doing that? What a trick. What? Where they do that at? Why would you pick a jump off? Who picks a jump off and takes them seriously and then gives them a green card marriage and then props them up? And oh, well, you got a presidential award? I want a presidential award. Okay, I'll get you a presidential award. Like what? You want an honor from my alma mater? I'll get you an honor from my alma mater. Since when? When do they deserve any of that? The 100 this and the 50 that and the whatever that? I ain't never see them do nothing to do with nothing. Not a daggone thing. Now, if they want to honor somebody who's a whole trick and who's a master manipulator, a liar and a thief, that's the high honor they need to get. That's the high honor they need to get. And so concerned with the oil when they ain't got no oil. And I said this a million times. I don't know why you even letting them touch your people. What are you doing? What are you doing? I say everybody need to be rebaptized and reanointed, because that is, I don't know what they anointed them with, but it ain't nothing about the Lord, not the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I don't know what person they're serving or what entity they're serving or what God they think they're serving. If they think some little g God they serving the father of lies. Keep on thinking that it's real, or pretending that it's real when you know it's not, or acting like it's real so other people think it's real, and then it's found out and you go down with them. I'm telling you, you gotta clear. Let's be clear. You gotta clear the energy. You gotta clear them out of there. They must be exposed. You gotta expose that thing. They tore up your whole entire leadership team that you handpicked with God's guidance. You threw all that out the window for something that looked like a something thing, but inside was a whole ass demon. Excuse me, but it's what it is. A whole donkey demon. That's what it is. You better look at that thing with your spiritual eyes, not with your carnal eyes, not with your human eyes. They look lovely as can be, but it's a whole demon. It's a whole trick of the enemy. It's a whole master manipulator. It's a whole witch. It's a whole set of dark magic or black magic, whatever they do. It's a whole set of that. So you can say whatever you want to say. You could prop up that thing as much as you want. You can let them parade around like they the cat's meow if you want to. You could say that they are your best decision since Jesus Christ if you want to. But there's going to be a time that God going to call you out and say, what did you really say? Why did you even say that when you knew what it was? Why did you do that when you knew what it was? And even if you didn't know what it was, when you found out what it was, why didn't you do something about it? Why didn't you call a spade a spade? Why don't you call a witch a witch? Why don't you call a doggone narcissist a narcissist? Why don't you call an abuser an abuser? Physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, whatever, verbal abuse. They're all of that. There's something is unhinged in this individual. I know this for sure. And you know it too, because you live with it every doggone day. Every day. What's the name of this video? Oh, I've been on here a while. Been on here 43 minutes, going 44 minutes. The video is called The Fake Fraud You Applaud. Why you keep applauding them? Oh, so good. Aren't they wonderful? The most amazing this, amazing. They're the most amazing this, the most amazing that. Most amazing and brilliant. Amazing and brilliant. Never that you love. Never you're in love. None of that. I picked them because they're amazing and brilliant. And God said so and so. And he ain't say that. But they made you believe he said that. Because they knew what he really said. They got the emails. They intercepted the emails, I should say. They intercepted the notes. They conferred with your best buddy with a name like someone who runs a boat, who operates a boat. You know, This trick knew about all of that. And her job was to take everything away, block everything, remove everything that stood in her way of getting the one thing she wanted, which was power and control. Not you. They don't want you. They don't even like you. They don't even love you. They want power and control. They like power and control, and they love power and control. And guess what? They have power and control because you co-signed it. You get the green card marriage. You gave them the green light. You vouched for them. And look at what they're doing, tearing your whole life up. Tear your whole ministry up. Tearing your whole congregation up. The ones that don't know any better because they believe you. They side-eyed the trick when they came in, but then you start propping them up like they were somebody. There were nobody in the eyes of God in that way. You brought them there. God didn't appoint them nowhere. God didn't make them in charge of nothing. God didn't say to them, this is yours, like he told the real individual. God didn't do none of that. You did that. That you involved your bishop and all them other people in it. In that shenanigans charade y'all did last year. Like what? When will you feel bad about that? When will you repent about that if you haven't? When are you going to fix all of that? When are you going to stop all of that? The only one who can put a stop to this is you. You don't. I'm talking to one specific person, community. You're the only one that can stop this thing. You are the only one. No one else can stop it. And you got about a day left to do it. Because you about the door. Oh, that's why I thought about the subway. Doors are closing. The door is closing on Sunday. You got one extra day. One extra Sunday because, you hadn't been doing what you normally do on there on Sundays and Tuesdays. So I don't want to end it on the notes that I left it on, that other trick up there. I want to end it on when you're up there talking, when you're saying what you got to say, what thus saith the Lord. But that green card marriage, oh my gosh, when are you going to get out of it? What the heck? I don't care what nobody has to say. If I was you, I wouldn't care what no one has to say about it. I will only care what God has to say. When you stop caring about other people's opinion on you, that's when you begin to win. I keep trying to help you transform. I think you get it. I keep saying in the beginning, I'm going to keep saying, I think you're getting it now, but I still have some things I got to say in case you're not getting it. And if you are getting it, don't say, she keeps saying it. I have to say it. Because there might be some people who don't get it. But I believe you're starting to see it, but I don't believe you doing anything about it. I don't see you doing anything about it. Actions speak louder than thinking, let alone words. You ain't said nothing and you ain't done nothing. You might just be thinking something. You may be doing more than I know. I don't really know. I know that you know what to do, but I don't think you've done it. And if you've done it, you just didn't tell me. But I'm the one that needs to know because I'm the one that's out. I'm out. I'm out of here. Audi 5000, right? And so doors are closing and you will miss that window forever. You said, who talked to Jamal Bryant here? Jamal Bryant in your sermon from Empowerment Temple, you said, what's it called? These hoes ain't loyal. We said these hoes ain't loyal. You said, you will regret not listening to that woman that God sent you. And you thought it was, the trick that God sent. God didn't send no trick. He don't send no tricks. He sends treats. He don't send nobody's going to make you feel like crap. He's going to send you somebody who helps you to grow and gives you ease when they just stand in your presence. Your whole physiology changes. This whole aura of peace comes over you. Even if you're in the midst of a struggle, you're in the midst of goodness knows what, because you got a lot that goes on. When the one God sent comes, peace washes over you. And that's what we need in our life. That's why God aligns people. That's why God chooses who he wants you to be with. And when we choose against it, we live in chaos. We live in turmoil. We live in lack or loss, right? And you might be saying, I'm not living in any lack. I got plenty. You might have plenty, but you ain't got plenty of peace. You don't have plenty of joy. You don't have plenty of real love. You got plenty of fake, plenty of fraud, plenty of phony, plenty of shape shifting, plenty of gaslighting, plenty of abusive type. You could see it. Plenty of eggshell walking. I told you I lived the eggshell walk life. Don't ever do that. I did it 13 years. Don't do it. You almost on 1 year. You need to walk out of that whole thing. It doesn't get better. It just gets worse. I promise you. And as soon as it gets really bad enough for you to say I'm out, they can be so sweet. Oh, this and oh that, and they do it all the time in front of everybody. We see it, and it just reels you back in. You start getting that goofy smile on, like, oh, that does feel good when they say that. And I'm reeling in. I'm reeling in my fishing rod right now. You should see me. If I was on video, you see me reeling this fishing rod. They're reeling you in. You need to cut the line and swim. Swim! Swim! Swim as far and fast as you can away. They don't mean you any good. The fisherman doesn't mean the fish any good when he's wiggling that worm around in front of it or whatever the bait they have. This trick had a lot of bait. All the bait you love. You understand? You think the enemy going to send you exactly what is going to trick you and have it not look like something that you invite in? No. Why would they send you something terrible looking? Did Eve have a shriveled up apple? No, I'm sure it was beautiful, fresh and wonderful, juicy looking. Adam and Eve. They didn't give them old piece of wilted up fruit. And I've been seeing online, or I don't know if it's social media online or somewhere, where they show they do a lot of things with old fruit and how the spoiled part of fruit can spoil the fruit around it. Like, one bad apple will spoil a whole bunch. But recently I seen the one with the strawberry that's got mold on it, and then they put it next to another strawberry which is good, and then next to the other strawberries on the other side of the good one. So it's bad, good, good, all connected. So not only does the one that's connected to the bad get mold and rotten, the one that's connected to the one that's connected to the good also gets rotten, because they're all touching and connecting. Where two or three, they all going down. Or when two or three are gathered in Jesus' name, they all going up. He'll be there also. So God is not in the rotten fruit life. That's the enemy. They put a rotten fruit, that trick, next to a good fruit, you, and you're next to your people that you're serving. And what's going to happen next? The rotten fruit going to get you rotten, so you can't even protect yourself from the rottenness. And when you're rotten, you can't protect the people from the rottenness. And the rotten goes all the way through the whole thing that you're trying to build. And they can't stand. And it's all going down. And then they're going to make sure you go down. And then they're going to try to take over. Well, he wanted me to do so and so. We agreed to do such and such. I would agree to do nothing with them. You're in agreement with the enemy. You're in agreement with a whole witch. You're in agreement with someone who does not serve the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. They serve somebody else, whether it's themselves or the enemy, Satan himself, the father of lies. Because they're a straight liar, straight donkey liar. They're a straight donkey liar. That's all I can say. My gosh. Straight donkey liar. So, I wouldn't have them around no kids of mine. I wouldn't have them around nothing of mine. They asking you where all your stuff is. And you told them. I wouldn't tell that. Yeah, shoot. I wouldn't have told that trick nothing about my assets or my nothing. Because then, they're going to make sure you gone. They're going to wear you out down to the nub and make sure you out, and they're going to take all your stuff. It happens. People take people's stuff when they shouldn't. They don't care if the kids get nothing or not. You know what happens. You've seen it. You don't want it to happen to you though and your children. So you need to protect yourself and protect your children and your children's children. So, that trick came to block your divine connection with the best real gift God ever bestowed on you, the one and only. Hey, hi, how are you? Searched all over to find what God already gave you. Again, all those years ago. Did you find it in anyone? Nope. I know you didn't find your real person in that shape shifting, destiny swapping trick of the enemy. You know her name. She pretended to be all you loved in your real person. Okay. She pretended to be. So that because she's like, why do you like them so much? Why do you love them so much? You just won't forget about them. Well, let me study them and see what it is about them that you like so much so I can be. What do you like so much? Sit up. What do you like so much so that I can be like that? I can dress like that now. I can look like that. I can sound so sweet like that. And they're a whole demon. You see it. Look at their face. Spouting and pouting. Bleeding on everybody because they're unhealed. Unhealed people can't lead nobody except the more unhealed. They smacking everybody's scabs that's unhealed. And that's the activation. Oh, yeah, say it. That's right. You keeping it real. No, they're keeping it hurt. They're not healing nobody. Your job up there is to help people, not to re-injure them or to keep them in their injured space, their hurt, traumatic space. They pretend to be all you loved in your real God-given person, and you went for it.